Welcome back to WagerTalk.com. We're going to wrap up the NFC East. Final team to preview is the Philadelphia Eagles. This is going to be Ralph's play. I'm going to go to Bryan first. Bryan, the Philadelphia Eagles last year, they started out 3-0. Everybody was, talking about Carson Wentz. He was the toast of Philadelphia. 5 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions in the first 3 games. They were ready to take him to Canton after the first 3 weeks of the season. And then he played like a rookie the rest of the season, throwing for 11 TDs and 14 interceptions. Not horrible, but not great. But, he showed the growing pains. Plus, teams started to see him and, started to defend him a little bit better. What do you think about this Philadelphia team moving forward?
Yeah, I think Philadelphia's got a pretty bright future here. They did have the 4th healthiest season last year in the NFL. That's the only downside. But when you take a look at the Eagles, they were 1-6 in one-score games. They faced the toughest offenses in the NFL last year when you take a look in retrospect. So I think the defense will be a little bit better now. They won't have to face such a tough schedule. And this is a team that last year they were 21st in spending offensively. They're now up to number 2. And the reason being they brought in a couple studs at wide receiver. So they've got some guys at wide receiver and tight end now they didn't have last year. I think they'll be more of an exciting team, and I think they'll be better defensively because they play the lesser schedule, and offensively they got more weapons around them.
Now, Ralph, before we get to you, this is your play. The defense last year, I didn't think played too bad. Now, they had a few games that the score, got out of hand, but those are some of the games where Carson Wentz made some mistakes and put them in bad spots. Overall, I thought the defense improved. And the main reason I thought the defense improved under first-year head coach Doug Peterson, there was no more Chip Kelly, run and gun offense. You went more to a more traditional offense, which kept the offense on the field longer. And we've talked about it. Just keeping your defense off the field is going to make them better when they are on the field. And I think that was one of the big differences for Philadelphia. Bryan mentioned they went out and got some offensive weapons on wideout for Carson Wentz. What I like the best is what they went out and did for the backfield. I think it's to get a running game going. They signed LeGarrette Blount, who's on the backside of his career but can still pound you those hard yards. And Danielle Pumphrey, I loved him in college. I think he's got a bright future in the NFL. If they get the running game going, that's going to take some pressure off of Wentz.
Now, you remember, jumping back in the last video, we talked about Washington. And remember, Washington was in the same division with 2 rookie quarterbacks, Dak Prescott and, Carson Wentz. And Wentz will get compared to Prescott a lot. The difference being Dallas had an offensive line and Dallas had a running back. Those are the 2 things he missed. And that's why after starting 5-4, they lost those 5 straight games. Hit a little bit of a rookie wall, and without a running game, you're forced to pass and much tougher to do. But I'm looking at Philadelphia, and it was a winning team. They went 10-6 in both 13 and 14 under 2 different coaches, Andy Reid and Chip Kelly. Now Peterson's in his 2nd year. Wentz is in his 2nd year. But most important for me is Jim Schwartz. You said they played the #1 set of offenses last year. Jim Schwartz, the old Detroit Lions head coach, who's now the DC, and I love him. 2nd year, he was number 12 points per game and number 13 yards per game on defense. They're going to make a big uptick this year. Great defense. Their schedule is funky. They play 3 of the first 4 on the roads, and then they play 3 straight road games, games 12, 13, and 14. Middle of the season, 3 straight home games and a bye. So I think it sets up well. Get through the middle of the season, get fresh. Their road trips, they have an advantage because they play at LA and at Seattle back-to-back weeks. They'll just stay out there instead of making the dual trips. Put together, good defense, improved offense, over 8 wins for me. I like Philadelphia. Again, at 8's a push. I'll go that way because I think it'll be 8-8 or 9-7.
All right, good stuff there, Ralph. And guys, don't forget at WagerTalk, each and every Tuesday, it's $2 Tuesday. You get to have a capper. We pick them. Somebody that's hot, we offer their best bet on Tuesdays for just $2. It's a great way to introduce yourself to WagerTalk or to a new capper. Check it out each and every Tuesday, $2 Tuesday. We'll be back with more here at WagerTalk.com.